Welcome back. You're watching Power Breakfast here on CNBC TV 18. As promised, we now get our research team to tell us what the trade setup looks like, the stocks that are likely to be in the news, and the action from the F&O space as well. Hey guys, a very good morning to all of you. First up, Rima, let me come across to you. What is the market setup looking like today?
Well, there is green on the global screen, and that's going to help things to begin with. U.S. markets ended with gains of 1 to 1.5%, and there is some buoyancy seen in the Asian market. But for our own markets, yesterday we saw a gain of close to about 0.7% on the benchmark indices. The Nifty has climbed above levels of 17,100. That's where we're currently positioned. But a lot of technical analysts are saying that for the markets to have a convincing up move, to see greater upward momentum and breakout, the Nifty needs to climb the resistance or the hurdle level of 17,200. That remains key, and let's see whether we can do that in today's trade. On the downside, Monday's low of 16,828 remains the key support level, but we're quite a distance away from that. In terms of flows yesterday, the DIIs bought 1,946 crore in the cash market. The FI sold 1,454 crore in the cash market. So DIIs bought, the FI sold, but the flows were impacted on account of that Devyani international block deal of nearly about 3%. Well, it's going to be a lot about the global markets, and it's a top-down approach in that sense. There are two important meetings to track. One, of course, is the Fed meeting. Will they pause, pivot, or hike? And the other one is the U.S. bank CEOs are also meeting, led by JP Morgan, to try and discuss First Republic future. So that's going to be top of mind as well. The dollar index has eased to levels of about 103. The 10-year bond yield has risen to 3.6% as market participants today are pricing in about an 89% probability of a 25 basis points rate hike in the Fed decision. So there is a possibility of an upside momentum. The SGX Nifty is suggesting a positive start, but let's see whether we can conquer 17,200 and build on it. Back to you.
Oh yes, that will be an important level, right? Thank you, Rima, for all those cues. Let me go across to Abhishek. He'll list out all the stocks that are in focus today.
Well, to begin with Tata Power, they have received letter of award for this by their subsidiary for 200 megawatt solar PV project in Solapur, Maharashtra. IOC, they have received approval for pre-project activities for setting up a complex in Odisha, which is estimated cost of 61,000 crore above. RVNL, they are holding a board meeting on 24th March to consider interim dividend. Tata Motors, they have announced a price increase of up to 5% for commercial vehicles ahead of BS6 phase 2 emission norms. So this will be effective 1st of April. HG Infra, they have been declared as a bid winner by North Central Railway for a project of about 655 crores, which has to be completed in 36 months. Hindustan Zinc, they have given a board approval of fourth interim dividend of rupees 26 per share. And on the other hand, Bandhan Bank has got board approval to pare down its stress in the balance sheet. So they will be selling off return of NPS as well as NPS to ARC. Over there they are receiving 369 crore for return of portfolio and about 370 crore for NPA on security receipts. This is a better rate than what many peers have got for the stress sale that they had done earlier. Back to you.
Okay, all right. Those are all the stocks in focus today. Finally, let me go across to Nigel, joining in with all the cues from the F&O space. Hey, Nigel.
Well, morning, Sonal. Yesterday we had a good rally, and in fact, there was a bout of short covering actually that did take place on the markets on the whole, because the Nifty ended high, the Nifty Bank ended higher. But on the Nifty Bank, in fact, you had some open interest that was lower. Telling you that clearly, at least on the Nifty Bank, there was a bit of a short covering bounce that played out. What did the FIs do in the F&O market? Well, not too much on index futures, more or less status quo out there. And now their short positioning is at around 91.5% odd. As we have been saying, this is the highest that we've ever seen actually in terms of short positioning, both in percentage terms and in absolute terms. On the option side, though, things are quite encouraging, because they bought calls big time. They bought close to around 3 calls for every 1 put. But for me, the biggest positive is they're trying to create a bit of a base in the near term. And that's why they wrote puts. They wrote more than 80,000 puts in yesterday's trading session. What were they writing? 2 strikes, 17,000 put, 17,100 put. That's on the Nifty. Between them, they added close to around 70 lakh shares. So clearly, there is an attempt to keep that base at around the 16,950 odd. While on the Nifty Bank, that was more encouraging, because normally we don't see very, very active strikes out there. Yesterday, there was the 39,500 put that added open interest big time, and also the premiums at around 113 odd, which brings us to the levels. The bulls will want the Nifty to move towards the 20 DMA, both on the Nifty and the Nifty Bank. But in the near term, the support zone comes up for you on the screen. On the Nifty, you could see a correction of close to 100% in both the Nifty and the Nifty Bank, and you'll still be betting on some bit of a relief rally moving out from here. So that's where the support comes on the Nifty as well as the Nifty Bank. The SGX Nifty, the last time I suggested, was indicating a more or less flattish start. If you get 25 basis points, well, that's factored in. If there is no rate hike, or in fact there's a 50 basis point rate hike, then we'll have to watch out for a reaction out there. But otherwise, 25 basis points appears to be a done deal. Back to you.
Okay, all right, Nigel, Abhishek and Reema, thank you so much for joining us and prepping us up for this trading day ahead. With that, we'll move on